What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I saw something over on Twitter the other day, and honestly, it's just kind of tiring to see this. And again, I'm not really coming at the person who posted this over on Twitter. I'm mostly coming at the community because at the end of the day, they could say this as much as they want, but I don't believe a single soul when they say that this is what, the consumers want, what they personally need out of Call of Duty game. But as you can see right here from COD Warfare, all the news, they said hashtag Call of Duty 2024 is in good shape. A true return to form for the franchise, I've been told. Now, again, we hear this all the time, right? Pretty much every year that goes by, every brand new Call of Duty game that drops, we always hear this information. And of course, if you guys are always interested in Call of Duty news or information, you can always subscribe to this channel and hit that bell. And also leave a like if you do enjoy what you hear today as well. I always like to throw that into the mix just so everybody knows. But back to what I was saying. I've been covering Call of Duty year after year after year, and this is something that is always said, without a doubt. Every single time a brand new COD game drops, this is put forth into the community, that it's a return to glory. This is going to feel exactly like an OG game. This is exactly what everybody's been wanting, a return to the past. Now, I don't personally know if I believe this information or not, but again, this video isn't really pointed at, the leaks always saying that the game is going to be a return to the past. This video is more pointed towards the Call of Duty community and just the load of crap that they are filled with when they claim they want an OG experience, an OG game, a classic feeling title. Yet and still, when they get something like that, it's the end of the freaking world. For example, let's talk about Call of Duty World War II here. Call of Duty World War II removed unlimited sprinting. This was a feature that has been, more so introduced with the jetpack era of COD, which really, hyper-focused on movement and making Call of Duty absurdly fast-paced. OG Call of Duty games, Call of Duty 4 up to like maybe Ghost or Black Ops 2 if you want to say, were very position-based. Yes, you can run and gun, but position has always been key in COD. Even in the movement CODs, position has always been key. But once the jetpack games released, the identity of Call of Duty kind of, should I say, evolved. It changed up. And it changed to the point where I feel like people don't know what they're talking about when they claim they want something out of a COD game. And honestly, Call of Duty has been out for so long that when people say they want an old school feeling COD game, I'm sure there's some people that when they say OG, they're thinking of jetpack games nowadays, whereas for me, I think of Call of Duty 4 when I think of OG. I'm sure some people out there say, oh yeah, classic COD game. Oh man, I wish it was like classic BO3. So, people might just be coming from different generations of COD, but I highly doubt it. When people say they want an OG classic feeling Call of Duty game, they are claiming they want something like Call of Duty 4 through Black Ops 2. And like I said, every single time they implement a feature, they do something that takes us back to that generation of Call of Duty. All the people who say they want that start complaining. They start saying it's the worst thing in the world. It's too slow. Like I just said, World War II, they removed unlimited sprint, and guess what happened? The whole community was about to faint. And that is as OG as it gets. We never had unlimited sprint. You had to use a perk to be able to run for an unlimited amount of time, okay? You needed a perk. It was never something that was handed to everybody in the community. Again, do I hate it? No, I like unlimited sprint, and honestly, I'm fine with it being in a Call of Duty game. But people want an OG classic feeling vibe, and that is OG. A classic COD game had no unlimited sprint, it was more position-based, and you had to pick and choose your engagements and know when to run and gun and know when to hold an objective. That was very crucial back in the day. And then when they tried to incorporate that gameplay style, the whole community faints. Again, like I said, everybody who says, oh, I need something OG, oh, I need something classic, now out of nowhere, when they get something that's a little bit more classic, it's the worst thing in the world. An even better example is Modern Warfare 2 2022. I always got hate for this, but I personally did not despise the movement in that game. My biggest problem was the ADS speeds, the skill-based matchmaking, and the strafing speeds. They slowed down the game a ton. But when it came to the movement system within the game, I did not think it was bad whatsoever. I didn't mind not having slide canceling, and I also thought it was pretty cool that they had all the movement mechanics, just like Modern Warfare 3 here, but, we're talking about Modern Warfare 2 2022, where you can dolphin dive, tack sprint, regular sprint, so on and so forth. But again, everybody despised it. They said the movement was way too slow. And again, we're not talking about strafe speeds or ADS speeds. We're not talking about the real things that are weighing down on the game. No, we're talking about the movement being too slow because it's not slide canceling. Again, and these are the same people who are wanting the games to go back to their OG forms. And I'm not calling out anybody in the comment section here. Maybe you are guilty of this. I don't know. I have no clue what you guys expect out of a COD game, but I'm just talking about what I see. I literally see people all the time saying they want an OG classic COD game, and when they get anything that is even partially like an OG title, they start saying that it's just the worst thing in the world. I don't understand. Same thing when it comes to visibility. Visibility in Modern Warfare 2 2022 is absolutely disgusting. And, I can agree, but acting like the OG games never had horrible visibility blows my mind. Again, you're asking for it to be more like an OG game. Well, if you want it to be like an OG game, then guess what? People are going to be blending in with the environment. People are going to be camping nonstop. That's another thing. People are saying that these games are made too campy. Modern Warfare 2 2022 is way too campy. That's not how the OG games played. I don't know if we played the same Call of Duty games as one another, but Call of Duty 4 through Call of Duty Ghost or Black Ops 2 were definitely campy. Again, you can move, you can run and gun, but you're going to run into campers all the time. They've always been there since the beginning of time, and the games have always catered to campers, even though it's extraordinarily obnoxious, and I personally don't care for it. At the end of the day, the playstyle has been there since the beginning of time. It's not just something that's specifically in Modern Warfare 2 2022. Same thing with the visibility. People back in the day, in Modern Warfare 2 2009, Rundown, for example, Rundown in this game, they had to take away all the foliage. You want to know why? Because that's all people did in Modern Warfare 2 2009. They camped in every single bush they could possibly find. They were either trying to ninja defuse, they had a sniper class, they gave them a ghillie suit, and they wanted to camp in the bush. That's what people did back in the day. That is what an OG Call of Duty experience is like. People holding positions, people holding angles with M16s in Call of Duty 4, noob tubing and camping in bushes in Modern Warfare 2. You know what I'm saying here? I guess the whole purpose of this video, and again, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash and people are going to hate on me like crazy for saying this stuff, but again, to me personally, it's always the guiltiest people who get the most angry or the most defensive. If you're not guilty of anything or you know that you're not in the wrong, it's not really much that needs to be said. But I don't think the Call of Duty community is ready for an OG experience. I truthfully don't think so. Everybody claims they want a very classic OG-styled game, but I guarantee if they went ahead and did that, the whole community would be up in arms saying it's the worst experience they've ever touched. Like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered, for example. Do you know how many people hated that game, saying it was the slowest game known to mankind? But that's the OG Call of Duty 4. Same thing with Modern Warfare 2 2009. They didn't even bother remastering the multiplayer experience because they were so scarred with what people were saying about Call of Duty 4 that they knew that if people played the real Modern Warfare 2 2009, even though I personally thought it was fun, they would hate it. It was the cheesiest experience out there. The cheesiest experience. Everything in that game was cheese. And for a fact, over half the people in this game would be complaining about it. They would always be complaining about it. I don't think people are ready for an OG experience. I don't think people are ready to slow down because that's what OG COD is. It's a slowed down version of what we're playing right now. I got to be real. I'm getting partially tired of seeing this statement. I think Call of Duty is evolving now. I think it's becoming something, a little bit more fast paced, a little bit more, arcadey, and I don't mind that. Modern Warfare 3, as you see right here, I love this gameplay. I think the gameplay in this title is phenomenal, and it is a perfect in-between of a classic feeling Call of Duty game and what, the new generation of Call of Duty or the new generation of players want Call of Duty to be. Because if you tell me the base movement in Modern Warfare 2 2022 is way too slow, then again, I don't know what to tell you because it's faster than almost all the OG games combined together. It has more movement than all the OG games combined together. So if that's too slow, then yeah, can you imagine if they remastered an actual OG title or tried to make a game from the ground up that literally resembled an OG game? It's way slower than what we had in Modern Warfare 2 2022. Like I said, the community would be up in arms. Same thing with the time to kill being too fast. Like again, all I remember back in the day is getting one bursted by M16s, AKs just tapping me, in every single Call of Duty game. The time to kill's always been really fast in Call of Duty. Again, like I said, I'm starting to believe that when people say they want an OG experience, they're more so talking about the matchmaking system. And if that's the case, then I understand. But I think that we need to start differentiating what we want, start saying, yes, I want, faster ADS times, more arcadey movement, I want, less skill-based matchmaking. But to say that you want something OG, like an OG title, it's way too vague because there's so many things that could be put into that category of an OG game, But of course, as always, go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below. I know videos like this, they're pretty hot. I know I'm going to get a ton of hate for this, but I just have to speak the truth. I really do, man. I get tired of hearing it all the time, and I know people might be talking about different things, but there's also a ton of people out there as well that keep talking about wanting something that feels OG and classic, yet they keep complaining that, the games are too slow, the time to kill is too fast, the visibility is garbage. And it's the same, like, it's better visibility, honestly, than what we had in the past. Way better visibility, especially with all the crazy, quirky skins nowadays. You could definitely see way better than the actual, milsim-styled, camo skins that we had back in the day with the dark colors and all that stuff. You couldn't see anything back in the day, man. Same thing with the movement, no unlimited sprint, so on and so forth. I just hope that people can see the bigger picture here of what Call of Duty is, what it was in the past. We can respect the past, but also understand that people's opinions and what they want out of a COD game are changing. And if you want something to be nonstop, fast-paced, arcadey, then we need to move on from what OG was, because OG had a different vibe than that. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you hated, leave a dislike. Subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, we do try to go ahead and stream pretty much daily. So if you guys want to find that stream, I do it over on Kick. I got a link to that down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.